We're recording. Okay, so this we can probably cut out, but we're going to begin with the Audacity. Okay, have I rambled enough? Am I comfortable? Is everything okay? And start. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Life with Olives podcast. I am your host, Olives, and it is September. How is it September? I don't know, but it is. It's September. Oh my gosh, September is just happening. I think we're already in the middle of it. What is it, the 16th? Or at least well on our way. But as I said, this is the Life with Olives podcast. I don't think I've checked in for a very long time. I don't think I've actually talked to you guys for a very long time. I don't know what to... Bubbles, apparently. I just don't know what to say. What a time. What a time to be alive. What a time to exist. What a time. Oh, man. 2020. I think so many people have talked about 2020, and I want to say everybody's having their own 2020 experience, but I also feel like we're all experiencing 2020 together because obviously COVID showed up on the heels of Australia being on fire and World War III and decided, oh, that's not enough. They need more madness. They need more insanity. And COVID said, hello, I'm here to literally murder most of you. And I giggle because it's all I can do. So if you hear the slight warble in my voice that sounds like it's trying to be laughter, it's not. I just don't know, honestly, what else to do at this point. Because coronavirus, COVID-19. Ugh, what a mess. What an absolute mess. But welcome back to the show. I don't know if I've recorded at all this year, really. I know that I did the episode with Miss R back in, May? Oh my goodness. So many things have changed since then. I have been in a new house for 3 months now? Is it 3 months? 3 or 4 months? I don't know why it took me so long. I literally was doing math. I was trying to do it on my fingers because I've decided I'm going to start what's the word I want? I'm going to start recording the podcast for video recording it for YouTube again, or supposedly any other broadcasting platform of choice. However, this is what I've chosen to do, and I've got a whole cute layout, and thanks to Stream Elements not only being my go-to for my Twitch streaming, has also super duper helped me. Most people listen to podcasts on Apple Podcasts, especially mine. I've looked at my analytics. A lot of you listen to me on Apple Podcasts, which thank you very much. But should you choose to wander over to YouTube and watch this on YouTube, first of all, bless you. But also... if you see my funny little layout, don't judge me. I was having a great time. It'll be better later when I'm better with anything. But yeah, so far COVID's been interesting for everyone. I've had kind of an interesting life experience. So far, it's been really nice to kind of get out and live in a new situation. I'm a whole lot closer to my job, so I can bike to work, which has been... I didn't for about 2 weeks, and that really, my health did not like that very much. So I'm back to biking again, and Blue has really enjoyed having a backyard to run around in and have a great time. It's also brought fiance and I closer together. Yeah, that's a thing. I got engaged in January. It really seems like a lifetime away now, and let me tell you about how it's been... I thought I knew. You think you know your person. You feel like you've chose this person, and this person and I have been together for about 7 years, and then you get engaged, and then I don't know. Something happens. Something weird occurs, and something about planning a wedding just makes the both of you have to get to know each other better. Excuse me. Sometimes it's stressful. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. we have had very, very interesting experiences so far. So and at this point, because of COVID, everything is on pause and we're not for sure what's going to happen after this. But for right now, we're kind of just, everything's on pause, everything's waiting. We're not sure. We'll pick this back up probably next year. It's going to take a while, but I mean, we appreciate all of the well wishes from all of you. It's been very kind, very sweet. All of you being aware of us and what we're trying to do, and as far as getting married goes, because it's interesting. Wow, so I just blew all over the microphone, but I'm not against it. I mean, honestly, growing up, I have to be completely honest. Growing up, I was always, I'm going to move out. I'm going to open a coffee bar, hookah shop, bookstore, clothing line. I had all these other dreams that I wanted to do. I never in my life stopped and was like, oh yeah, I must integrate a man and a family and all of these other things into my plan. I was always looking out for number one. I was figuring my own stuff out. I was never planning on bringing anyone else into my life. And then I met this guy, and by met, I mean we worked at the same place, and I saw him from across the room, and I was like, that one's for me. And through 7 years of complete and total just, wow, no. Sorry, I made a light mistake. Through 7 years of just absolute, holy crap. Oh my. I mean, some choices I would make differently. Don't we all have choices that we would make differently? I certainly do. I certainly feel like if I could go back and be like, let's change this, or let's not do this, or let's instead take this path, I would do that. In our relationship, certainly. But I also feel like the route that got me there to meet him was totally worth it. 110% worth it. Is it a choice that I still make every day? Yes. Is it a choice that he also still makes every day? Also, yes. Like, there are just, there's things that you work on every day that you want to be better, and you have to remember that you do want to be better. It occurs to me that looks like product placement, and it is not product placement. I used to really, really enjoy Mountain Dew, but now I don't anymore. People that are just listening to this won't make sense. Anyway. But yes, it was, I don't know. I had brain fog. I did this without actually thinking about where I was going. So, I don't know. It's just this particular route in my life has been very fulfilling, but it's also been very challenging. But I like a challenge. I like the chance to kind of, need to grow and need to be better. Is it hard? Yes. Does my anxiety not like it? Absolutely not. Have I felt lost and depressed lately? Absolutely. 100% yes. But I feel like we all have. It's not just because of me or my relationship or my not being able to get married or whatever, because as I said, I wasn't thinking about getting married at all until I saw my dude, my sir, from across the room. And I was like, that one, I'll take that one, please. And it took some time, but eventually he came around and he was like, yeah, I guess she's all right. I'll stick with that one. I proposed to him, by the way. This is important to me that you know this, is that I made that move. That was me. I bet you couldn't hear that. But he was very important to me. And so now that we're to this point, it's just, I want to just be like, oh, it's hard. But life is hard for everybody right now. And one thing that I have definitely noticed and have something that I've kind of grown into, I mean, because I've always kind of had a suspicion, but I've definitely noticed that I don't, it's not just anxiety. I mean, obviously I have anxiety, if you've ever met me, or talk to me at all, you would know that I have anxiety. But it also comes down to I am also an empath, which not everybody believes is a real thing, which is perfectly fine because not everyone thinks that the coronavirus is real either. And we just let people have their opinions until they get destructive. But I'm pretty sure that I'm an empath. And that, I feel like, comes from and the research I've done and the looking into things that I've done. Because you want to understand who you are. And you want to understand your tendencies and the ways that you do things so that you can better present yourself, and be a better human being. And the way that it's hard to describe. It's being an empath for me was born out of needing to read body language and other people's emotions and other people's emotional responses to me and to situations so that I could better provide for them and in turn protect myself from them. As awful and horrible as that sounds, I grew up in a household where my mother didn't know what to do with us. Not that we were particularly like super duper rambunctious or bad. She just was extremely mental illness runs in our family pretty heavily. So she was anxious and she was depressed and she was dealing with all of her own stuff on top of having 3 very highly emotionally charged girls. And yes, the 2 were born together and then there was a 10-year gap and then there was me. So have you ever had a dish passive aggressively washed at you, or have you ever had a laundry folded passive aggressively at you? For some people this doesn't matter. As for some people these things don't affect them, and I'm still not sure where or why there's a difference between it must be nature and nurture, and it must be personality type, because Sheristan, my sister, you can be passive aggressive toward her all day and she'll just ignore you and be like, whatever, I'm just going to do my own thing, blah, and she doesn't let it affect her. And then you have Alicia, who reacts very strongly, and she'll push right back and she'll call you out and she'll be like, what the hell's your problem? And then on the other side of the spectrum, there's me, where I pick up on the passive aggressive behavior and I immediately go, oh no, it's me, I've done something wrong, and then I have to fix it. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if it comes from growing up kind of an only child and knowing that I would have to take care of myself and there wouldn't really be any of them there to back me up, because by the time I realized that this was a thing, both of my sisters had kind of moved out and moved away. And I was kind of alone with our parents, and with my mother especially, because Dad worked a whole lot. And I've been talking about my childhood for 5 minutes. Is this therapy? I think it might be. I can't afford an actual therapist, but I get a really nice microphone for my birthday and suddenly, I'm going to talk to everybody about my issues. That's not the point. Anyway, the point is I am an empath out of necessity. I am an empath because I have had to be to protect myself from the mood swings and outbursts of the people who raised me. And that's kind of carried on to the rest of my life. And I've kind of just run around helping, fixing, being way too nice, taking care of things because I don't want people to be mad at me and to not like me. And it's a survival skill that I've carried into my adult life. I think to an extent, a lot of us have, especially because, women especially are very, don't rock the boat, don't upset anyone, don't make a big deal, just naturally. I think, especially the women that I've come into contact with, first of all, I like to think that I attract the black sheep and the weirdos and the strange ones, and I collect them and I hold on tight to them with a vice grip. Because people walk away. People walk out of your life, and they, for no actually good reason, then they just never come back, and you never know why. But the ones that I really like, I try not to let that happen. And I'm desperate to not lose the people that I have, because I have lost so many. Just because, and just not even for terrible reasons, just because like, a lot of them have just moved on with their lives. Like, it happens as you get older. I'm only 29, and I have friends that have, gone, like, left my city to go to school and go, get married and find jobs and grow and have their own existence. And then I just am terrible at keeping up because I feel like they're doing their own thing and I shouldn't bother them, which is my own shortcoming. And that comes with being like an anxious person, being like, oh, I don't want to bother you. Like, I was babysitting my best friend's beautiful, sweet little handsome son today. And I was like, I'm a little hungry. I'm going to have some ramen noodles. And she has multiple times told me that I can eat and take part of anything in her household. But I still felt awful and guilty. And when she came home, I told her about it. And she's like, oh, okay, cool. Not a big deal. Literally not even close to a big deal. And I just felt like a little bit like trash, but it's fine. It'll pass. So the moral of the story is all the things I've ever said in all my episodes about being anxious still hold. Drinking a lot of water, going outside, working on your social skills, making sure you're eating right and eating enough, and also take vitamins. Our food is so processed and has all of the good stuff stripped out of it to give us what we need, or what they want to present us with anyway, that they've taken all of the good things out of it, and all anything that has worth or nutrient, a lot of the time just vanishes. So we need to start taking our supplements, me especially, because I have really, really good ones. I have great ones that when I take them, I am on top of the world. I am at the apex of excellence. And sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like taking it today. It's not a big deal. I'm not going to care if I miss one, and then one turns into a week, and then a week turns into 2 weeks. And by the end of 2 weeks, I'm just like, what is my existence about? What is the point? What is the point of me running around doing the exact same thing constantly, being worried about everything all the time and everybody? What is the point? I completely lose sight of all the things that I want to do, because I really love and enjoy my job, especially now that I'm working super, super early hours, so that I do have my whole day to do whatever I want to do with it. But I'm getting really interested in Twitch right now, and I'm starting to grow a community, and I'm trying to bring this podcast back, as you can see, trying to make it every other week, maybe every week, depending on how we can work things out, especially if a certain cupcake gets back to me about what she wants to do. I'm trying to get my Etsy store up and off the ground. I'm just doing so many things. Let's see, what did I say? Did I say podcast, Twitch, Etsy store? I'm trying to build myself a website so I have a hub for all of this stuff, but it's just so hard. I'm trying to budget. I'm trying to buy a house. I'm trying to pay for a wedding. I'm trying to decide if I still want to even get married. There's a whole ton of stuff, that we're all thinking about right now. And because of quarantine, because of COVID, we're all stuck in our homes. And if we're not at work, we're at home thinking about, oh, I could go outside and I could go shopping, but I have to wear a mask the whole time and touch things that other people have touched. And that's a scary idea, isn't it? I don't want to be enjoying a shirt and be like, oh, this shirt is super cute, and then realize I have touched something that someone possibly with COVID touched, and I was like, and then I have to have hand sanitizer, but it has to be antiviral, not antibacterial. And you have to wear a mask. This is non-negotiable. I know I'm clipping, but this is how strongly I feel about this. You have to wear a mask in public. You have to. It's not about protecting you from others. It's about protecting others from you. I don't understand how people don't know that. I really don't understand where the disconnect is. What is the problem here? Wear a mask. It's about the people around you. This isn't difficult. I swear. I promise this isn't rocket science. You can do this. Wear a mask. Also, I don't know how I feel, because I don't have children. And I don't know how I feel about kids going back to school already. There's a lot of things going on that I'm not going to touch on because this is a podcast about life and anxiety. But a lot of these things are making me anxious is the problem. Especially because you keep seeing videos where angsty, crotchety old people keep trying to go out into public and then they are not allowed in Walmart. So they freak out because they didn't wear a mask to Walmart when there are signs everywhere outside Walmart that say you cannot come in here unless you have a mask on. Like, it's not a joke. Everybody is taking this seriously except for the morons. And then it becomes this whole like, oh, it's an us versus them political thing. No, it's not. Wear a mask. It's not. I don't understand why it would be political. Trump's wearing a mask. Joe Biden's wearing a mask. The other person. Sorry, I bumped the microphone again. The other presidential candidates are wearing masks. I'm not going to cut any of this. All of this is going to stay in. It's just raw, unfiltered. Love it. Ooh, whatever. I have strong feelings, and I have high risk people in my life. I have good friends that are high risk. I have friends with kids. I have parents that are a little bit older. I have friends with their own high risk issues. And even if you're asymptomatic, and even if you have symptoms and you're like, oh, well, it's too late now, you should still quarantine because it's not about you. It's about the people around you. What if, you're strong, you're healthy, okay, whatever. But what about, your elderly grandfather? Or what about your cousin with, asthma and other breathing problems? Everybody should be wearing masks. My 7 and 5-year-old niece and nephew understand that they need to be wearing their masks wherever they go. Their children, they have grasped this. It's not a big deal. We can handle this together, you guys. Wear a mask. God damn it, wear a mask. I know it's hard. Trust me, I work in food service. It's hard to wear a mask for 9 hours a day. Especially when it's hot. Especially when it's, when it's high stress. I couldn't think of the word high stress for a second. I was biking home. Why am I thinking about biking? I love biking. Anyway, it's a whole different topic, subject, anything. I know it's hard to wear a mask, but do it anyway. That's the end of that lecture. We're going to move on from that because that's stupid. We're going to stop talking about that because that should just be common knowledge, right? That should just be common sense. Did I mean to say common sense? Both. It's common sense and common knowledge that you should just wear a mask and just deal with it. And if you don't like the ones that are paper, get a different one. There's so many different kinds. This isn't difficult. I have paper ones and I also have cloth ones that go up over my nose and down around my neck and I hold them on with my glasses. It's not the end of the world. It can be done. And the way things are looking, this is going to be our reality for a long, long time. So, moral of the story, wear a mask. Ugh, gross. I think I'm going to call this one COVID thoughts. So I'm just worried about it. Honestly, that's part of why, because we've just been all caught up and scared and worried about what's going on everywhere else. And Florida keeps getting worse. I'm just concerned. So, wear a mask. Be safe. Brush your teeth. You should do that anyway, regardless of coronavirus. But anyway, what have we talked about? COVID, marriage, friends. This one's probably going to just be really short because I honestly wasn't even planning on recording a podcast today. I was planning on streaming to Twitch, but I just, I spent so much time on the computer today and I'm tired, which I know is weird, but I think I'm going to just give it a break. I was hoping to be able to go grocery shopping today, but not quite. Sometime soon. Grocery shopping. I think I'm going to try doing Walmart pickup tomorrow and just go pick up my groceries after work's over tomorrow. That sounds like fun. Because that way you don't have to go into the store. You just open up your trunk and they just drop your groceries into your trunk. Oh, that would be so nice. Anyway, I literally will ramble at you guys for forever. If you liked this, make sure to, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to give it 5 stars. And please leave a comment or a review so I know what's going on and what you guys like. Also, if you're listening on YouTube or watching on YouTube, let me know what you think of this whole, like all of this, where is it? All of this stuff over here and all that stuff over there. Like, let me know what's going on, like how the things are going and what you think I could improve and other stuff. Also, if you'd like to watch me on Twitch, I play a wide variety of games. I'm just honestly a general goober, just hanging out, having a good time. You can find me at www.twitch.tv/olives903. I'll put a link in the description. I'll also put links to all of my social media down in the description. Am I talking too fast? Probably. I'm running out of air. I really need to take my dog for a bike ride and work on my fitness and eat some more dinner. Also, this is new. I have recently been sponsored by this sweet, amazing jersey making company called No Name Nerd. They're pretty much, they think that jerseys should be for everybody, not just for lame-o sports people. So if you're interested in that, you can use my coupon code OLIVESGAMING for 10% off, because that's... Hi, Kina! They're currently sponsoring me. I know, me, weird little me. They looked at all of my social medias and they said that you're the girl for us. And I said, awesome, great, let's do it. So, and if you're watching on YouTube, there's our little icon over here. Wow, this is terrible. This is obviously in one shot. Anyway, I'm petting a dog. If that looks weird, that's why. So check out No Name Nerd. Check me out on Twitch. I have an Etsy store that I'll link to. I sell a lot of knitted and crocheted goods if you're interested in those. I have a lot of hats, bags, scarves, shawls, you name it, I can make it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll put all the links down in the description. And I hope to hear from you guys and see you soon. Bye.